I am reading Maktab. There is a passage in here that I wanted to share before I let y'all know about Making Money Matter Mondays and what we're doing. So this passage says, a 32-year-old patient went to see the therapist, Richard Crawley. I can't stop sucking my thumb, he said. Don't worry about that, said Crawley, but try sucking a different finger on each day of the week. From that moment on, whenever the patient raised his hand to his mouth, he was obliged to choose which finger he would suck that day. Before the week was out, he was cured. When something bad becomes a habit, it's hard to deal with, says Richard Crawley. However, when these challenges require us to adopt new attitudes, make new decisions and choices, then we realize that bad habits are simply not worth the effort. Girl, why would you be telling us about that? Sometimes what we are experiencing with our money is a result of not having to make new choices and be uncomfortable and really try to change that bad habit. So how does this show up in your finances? If you know that you're not supposed to be buying clothes and you know your card numbers and they're also saved in your browser or on your phone, and you are able to just go ahead and, oh, well, I can add the card and that's it and be done. What are you going to do to make things not that easy for you to stay in that habit? And I think that's one thing that people don't talk about when it comes to finances and managing your money and your money awareness. These things that you do on autopilot that are bad habits that you've never attempted to look at. It's one thing to say, I don't have enough money and I'm not able to afford things in my day-to-day life. That's not the problem that most Americans have, right? To a degree, some of us are able to do things that are discretionary. There are for sure people that can't, and they don't apply to this conversation. But for the average person that has discretionary income, you're able to go out to eat and buy clothes and do things. What are the habits that are keeping you in the same practices that you're doing with your money? So, this is about awareness. Are there things that you can change that will make it difficult for you to do these things? Is it that you get a new credit card and you vow not to save that to your browser and you keep said card, let's say, locked in a safe in your closet, and the only time that you can really use it is you are going to get up out of your bed, off of the sofa, you're going to go get that card and you're going to type it in and you're not going to remember the number. For most people, if they had to do that every single time they were going to do a purchase, it just wouldn't be worth it. So for me, the takeaway was, what are the bad habits that you have around money? How can you make it just a little bit more difficult for you to practice that bad habit? That's all. That was my takeaway, but it's not why I came up on here. I wanted to let y'all know next Monday we are having Making Money Matter Mondays. And this time we are going to do a mid-year checkup. So if you've never been on any of our calls, typically what we do is we go ahead, we have a conversation, whatever the topic is for that month. For the last couple of months, we've been talking about financially caring for aging parents, but one of the things that people said they wanted to talk about was really taking a look at their finances in the middle of the year. So it's not the end of the year, you're trying to comb through everything, make sure that you understand everything. You're getting surprised because you thought more taxes was coming out or you had too much coming out for this thing. This is the time before we go into the second half of the year for you to go ahead and take a look at, where's your budget at? Have you looked at your credit report? Is there anything fraudulent on there? What in your budget needs to be tweaked? Are there things that you need to take out? Are there things that you need to add in because you're actually spending money on those things and it's not captured in your budget, so then you're overspending? So it's this type of things that you should be doing once or twice a year. So I hope that you will join us for the mid-year check-in. I plan on having a checklist that you can walk away with so that you can come back to it and reflect each year at the same time or whatever time you want to set and just check in on your finances and make sure that everything is going okay. So If you want to be able to join the call, it's free, by the way. You can hit up myself, Mental Dialogue. We're happy to send you the Zoom link. This is a free conversation around money and mental health every second Monday of the month, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope that you will join us this month. If not, we're going to run it back in July.